This is based on the actual haunting of 284 Green Street, Enfield, London 1977-1979, the Enfield Poltergeist. This was investigated by Maurice Grass and Guy Lyon Playfair of the Society for Psychical Research, and is one of the most documented and disputed hauntings in history. While skeptics indicated deception, a number of independent witnesses, police officers and reporters among them, reported moving objects, hearing voices, and feeling cold spots. Some claim the haunting ceased once the Hodgsons vacated. Others claim the house never really forgot. I was 11 years old when the walls started talking. Our home in Green Street was not much, a 2-story thin council house in Enfield, North London. Dampened corners, wafer walls, and a clattering fireplace that grumbled on nippy nights. It was 1977, and Mum was trying her best to bring up 4 of us alone. I slept in a room with my sister, Margaret. My brothers, Johnny and Billy, slept down the corridor. The first indication was on a typical August evening. We had gone to bed early. I recall rolling over and hearing a gentle rustling, not out in the hallway, but within our room. The sound of paper being crumpled, gently at first, then more loudly, as if someone was digging around inside our drawers. "Maggie," I whispered, "do you hear that?" She didn't respond immediately. "It's the wind, Janet. Sleep." But it was not the wind. The noise came again, nearer. A box under the bed started to move out, slow and deliberate, as if being dragged by invisible hands. "Mum," I yelled. Mum rushed up. When she arrived, the box had come to rest. "What's all this yelling?" she barked. The box moved on its own. She pushed it back, grumbling about bloody kids, and went down the stairs. But I knew that I had seen it, and I couldn't help believing that somebody was with us in that room. The following night, I awoke to 3 loud taps on the wall next to my bed, then 3 more behind the wardrobe. "Janet, cease this at once," Margaret whispered. "I'm not doing anything." The taps louder, reverberating about the room. The wardrobe shook, its doors creaking. We screamed for Mum. She just arrived in time to witness it, the wardrobe gliding forward on the carpet. We fled from the room. Neighbors scoured the house, even the attic, and discovered nothing. No explanation, no trick. That was the night our lives were altered. The noises did not cease for days. Knocks, thuds, and scraping noises resounded from within the walls. Toys went missing and reappeared in unusual locations. The police came. One officer swore she saw a chair move on its own. Then came reporters, flashing cameras, notebooks ready. The story spread fast. Soon 2 men arrived, investigators from the Society for Psychical Research, Maurice Grass and Guy Lyon Playfair. Maurice was kind, patient. He set up tape recorders and cameras and said, "If there's something here, we'll find out what it wants." But we weren't prepared for what it desired. It started as a growl, low, raspy. And then one evening, words emerged in the darkness. "Janet." I sat bolt upright, shaking. "Who's there?" "This is my house," the voice replied, deep and raspy, too deep to belong to me. Maurice asked if he could tape it. I agreed. He handed me a glass of water and said, "Take a sip, love. Don't speak." As I was drinking, the voice returned again. "My name is Bill." "Bill who?" Maurice asked. "Bill Wilkins. I lived here before you. We found out later a man named Bill Wilkins had actually died in our home, in the living room armchair, years ago. His son verified it. The voice laughed when Morris played the tape again. And that was when I started to feel him inside me, a presence, weighty and cold. The articles referred to me as being possessed. Priests doused us with holy water. Psychologists talked of stress and hysteria, but none of them had felt the air become ice or seen toys go whizzing through a room. The voice didn't relent, teased us, tossed objects, cursed in words I'd never heard before. One evening, I awoke to my bed shuddering fiercely. The curtains were knotted up, and something cold was on my throat. Then I heard it in my ear. "You can't make me leave." The next thing I remembered, I was on the floor, there was blood on my lip, and everyone looking. Morris later showed me the pictures, me suspended in mid-air, as if something had thrown me. They said I made it up, that I leaped. But how do you make up the feeling on your chest? How do you manufacture fear that permeates your bones? By the early part of 1978, even the neighbors were hearing the sounds. Guests refused to return. Morris and Guy remained, refusing to leave until they could prove something. "It's not you, Janet," Morris told her one evening. "It's the house." But I knew he was wrong. It wasn't the house. It was inside me. If I closed my eyes, I could feel Bill's thoughts, momentary flashes of pain, confusion, anger. Sometimes, I'd pass out and wake to have people tell me that. I'd spoken in that voice again. Then one day he said something different. "Soon you'll all be gone." And he was right. The council relocated us temporarily. The home fell still. We believed it was finished. But when we returned weeks later, the stench greeted us, mildew and rot. The walls were blackened, the air thickened. That evening, I heard him once more, "Miss me." And then the chuckle. It ceased in 1979. No hint, no explanation. The house fell silent. We attempted to forget. Journalists lost interest. Photographers ceased their visits. Morris came by every now and then, but he seemed exhausted, haunted. Years have gone by. I grew up, had kids of my own. I tried to convince myself it was all mass hysteria, childhood fantasy warped by fear. But occasionally, when the house is quiet and the air feels colder than it naturally should, I hear him, Bill Wilkins. "I lived here before you, and occasionally I dream that I am again on Green Street." The peeling wallpaper, the floorboards cold beneath my feet, the armchair swaying gently in the corner. Then I hear a whisper from the shadows. "It's your house now, Janet." And I wake, heart racing, covered in perspiration, half hoping to find that old chair standing behind me. Occasionally, when I pass by a mirror, I still see it, the chair, and someone sitting in it, smiling.